They're off and racing, and Athero stepped away beautifully, as did Mr. Stunning, Hot King, Prawn and Rattan, but Purton is charging for the lead on Athero, and he's going to gather up the front spot within 200 metres. He leads 2 lengths to Mr. Stunning, Hot King, Prawn. Regency Legend was wider out. Beat the Clock began well. Rattan between horses. Then I Victory, Full of Beauty, Dan Smash, the Japanese 4th last. Then Wishful Thinker, DB Pin and Seasons Bloom last of all. Athero cantering on the lead as they run towards the 550. 3/4 Mr. Stunning, who's moving closer as they swing. Hot King, Prawn, Regency Legend. Then Rattan, Beat the Clock, is locked up down on the rail. Full of Beauty, and then I Victory. They turn for home now in the sprint, and Athero starts to click it up. Moves a length and a half clear. Mr. Stunning trying so hard. Then Hot King, Prawn, Beat the Clocks into the clear. I Victory, Rattan, and then Full of Beauty, but Athero kept going. Only a half, 3/4, they're closing. Hot King, Prawn coming after him. Beat the Clock, Mr. Stunning, Beat the Clock, going to Athero. Moreira takes the sprint and the vase. The crowd roars, the gates are open, they're off. Persian Knight slow, Beauty Generation stepped beautifully. Ka Ying Star's got his measure in the early stages. He'll find the rail first from Beauty Generation, happy to just sit at his quarters at present. Zaki's kicking through, Simply Brilliant, Handy, and he's keen. Admire Mars running 5th, wedge between horses. Norm Cor's gone forward, she's midfield but deep. Indy Champ, Damien Lane has him positioned down on the rail. They're not going overly quick from Persian Knight. And then 2 back to White Cuckoo, who went back to 2nd last alongside of Citron Spirit. They're at the 1,000, and Ka Ying Star makes play a half a length to Beauty Generation, who's leaving him alone at present. Out wide is Simply Brilliant, rolling a little closer from Zaki, and then Admire Mars, Normcore. Indy Champ is hemmed away on the rail from Persian Knight, and then 2 back White Cuckoo as they quicken down the side. Last of all is Citron Spirit. Ka Ying Star narrowly. Beauty Generation creeping closer. Simply Brilliant 3 out as they're about to turn for home. Zaki, Admire Mars, Normcore's very close. White Cuckoo hard ridden to turn into the stretch and chase hard. Ka Ying Star joined by Beauty Generation. He still looks light on his feet at the moment, the champ. He takes the lead, Beauty Generation, from Ka Ying Star. Wider out, Normcore, Admire Mars, White Cuckoo, Indy Champ back to the rail. Beauty Generation tiring. Admire Mars and White Cuckoo have gone to him. Admire Mars from White Cuckoo. It's the Japanese 3-year-old colt, Admire Mars, to win the mile from White Cuckoo. Beauty Generation may have held on to 3rd. Persian Knight and Normcore, and then Indy Champ, followed by Citron Spirit, then Ka Ying Star, who weakened with Zaki, and towards the back is Simply Brilliant. Christophe Soumillon on Admire Mars. The 3-year-old by Daiwa Major over White Cuckoo. Beauty Generation, Norm. Hong Kong Cup. The gates open, they're off, and Winbright stepped sideways early, but he's mustering now. Away fast was Magic Wand. Time Warp deeper out, pressing forward. Glorious Forever is putting himself right into the picture early. It's very tight and compact as they work past the trainer's stand, with Glorious Forever looking for the rail in front of Time Warp. The two brothers are banging heads at the moment. Winbright's got into third on the outside of Magic Wand, who's getting a lovely trail down on the rail. A length and a half further back to two to Rise High, who's going to settle midfield on the outside of Furore. One back to Adisa, and two back last of all is Dark Dream. Time Warp's pressing the issue wider out, and eventually he speeds up and will roll on and take the front. Time Warp leads by a length to Glorious Forever, who takes a sit now. That leaves Winbright at the 1,200 metres without cover in third position on the outside of Magic Wand, who's getting a lovely smothering run. A length away to Rise High, 3/4 to Furore, a length to Adisa, and Dark Dream is at the rear of the field as they stride towards the 950, where Time Warp has now settled nicely on the lead by 3/4 of a length to Glorious Forever, who's leaving him alone. Magic Wand's had a lovely run. Brian Moore's given her every chance. Winbright's travelled first class. Then a length and a half to Furore, who's going to look to get off the fence shortly with Rise High. Then a length and a half to Adisa, who's 5 off them as they run inside the 600 with Dark Dream. They're at the 500 now and cornering for home in the Longines Hong Kong Cup, where Time Warp turns in front narrowly from Glorious Forever. Winbright striding up, so too Rise High. Magic Wand out sprinted, then Adisa further back with Furore. Spread across the track. Rise High ranges up. Glorious Forever, Time Warp, Winbright. Then Adisa chasing up behind from Magic Wand. Rise High, Winbright. He's as tough as they come, Winbright. He's asserting his authority. Magic Wand down on the rail late, but Winbright will create a great day's history for Japan and takes the cup. Winbright by a head over a game Magic Wand and Rise High. Then Furore from Adisa, Dark Dream, Glorious Forever and Time Warp at the rear. Of the crowd, the gates are open and they're off, and it looked a fairly level line from the machine. Having said that, Young Rascal, he's having to push and shove here to Tory on him to get him going. Away nicely was Exultant, he's staying quite deep. Pressing forward also is Anthony Van Dyke, Southern Legend, and right up on the speed is Aspetar. Also Mount Everest going forward, and Prince of Arran got away beautifully this year. He's going to settle down in behind the speed, running 6th or 7th. Caught a little bit deep now is Young Rascal, but he's at least picked up the bit. Followed by, down on the inside, Glory Vase and True Self. Then a length to Ho Ho Khan as they head by the 1,800 metres. Then followed by Lucky Lilac. Sumion's left the fence vacant. He's 4th last from Eagle Way. Deirdre's back to 2nd last. And last of all, when they settle down, is Called to the Bar. They're running to the 1,500 metre point, and Purton has taken the favourite Exultant to the lead. And as they head to the back, Exultant striding by 2 lengths. Anthony Van Dyke has settled down 2nd on the outside of Southern Legend. A length and a half to Aspetar's getting a gun run on the outside of Prince of Arran. Mount Everest is caught 3 deep. He's got no cover. He's alongside of Glory Vase and True Self down on the rail. Lucky Lilac now into a 3 wide trailing position on the outside of Young Rascal. Then a length to Eagle Way, who's inside of Ho Ho Khan. Called to the Bar 3 deep, trying to improve. And 2 back. It's a patient ride by Murphy on Deirdre. She's last of all as they stride to the 900 metres. And Purton's getting away with cheap sectionals here on Exultant. At the 800, leads by a length and a half. Anthony Van Dyke has been stalking him everywhere he goes. Southern Legend, then Aspetar. Prince of Arran's had a lovely run, but he needs an out. Glory Vase was next. He's about to work into the clear. Mount Everest is under pressure. Then Lucky Lilac, True Self. followed then by Deirdre, who whips around them with Call to the Bar. They corner in and Exultant set sail for home. Turned in front with a length advantage. Southern Legend, then Prince of Arran. Glory Vase is now emerging. Anthony Van Dyke and Lucky Lilac steaming down the middle, along also with Deirdre. Glory Vase raced up to Exultant. Lucky Lilac wider out Deirdre. Glory Vase is powering away for Moreira from Exultant and Lucky Lilac. And it's the Empire that is Japan winning the Vase again. Glory Vase Extraordinary wins from Lucky